Hello everybody and welcome back to our survival farming challenge here on Edgewater, Saskatchewan. It is August, as you can see in the top right. And you catch me as I'm unloading my gravity bins with our wheat that we harvested in the last episode. Here we have our contract equipment because I did take a contract. We're going to be harvesting barley today, as well as a big old wheat field up here, field 31. As you can see, it is absolutely massive. So we're going to need some big equipment. So we did lease the equipment that came with the contract, which in this case is a Claas Lexion and a Fendt 939 Vario. We do need to finish getting our harvester unloaded before we get to that barley harvest. And then we also have a lot of straw that needs to be swathed up after that. Let's just see how far away we are from our fields. So we're going to have to go on this stretch of road here before we get to our 2 fields of barley up there. And then I am going to use my harvester for the contract up on 31, as well as the contract we got for leasing with the harvester we got through doing that contract. Sorry, man, I'm stumbling over my words. But anyways, I guess before I get too far into this, I should say, if you did miss any of the other episodes of survival farming, feel free to check out the description. I'll have a link to those down below so you can stay caught up. Alright, now these things usually cause me grief. Usually figure it out though. Oh, I need to fold it up, don't I? Maybe now that I've folded it up, it will be easier. There we go, yeah. Let's just get in the pickup. And snatch that right off. And we'll just head on over to our field. Now, in addition to the several wheat fields that we did harvest last episode and the couple barley fields we'll be doing today, we do have a few fields of soybeans that we'll be harvesting in the next episode. Providing this one doesn't take too long. I can see that that contract may end up being something that gets carried over into the next episode, but I do hope that that is not the case. Yeah, here's our first field of barley. It is looking very good. There are a few weeds poking out through the top, but those don't hurt the yield because I killed them off. Right, let's see. What's the best way to do this? I'll probably just spin around up here and run over that annoying straw swath pile that I can't reach. That was caused... Woo, I accidentally ran through the ditch there. This was caused by the field border ending here, and I don't own the roads and all that stuff, so my combine dropped a big pile of straw here, and I cannot bale it to get rid of it. It is super annoying, but there's nothing I can really do about it unless I were to buy the fields. I believe they're a couple million, or maybe a little over 1 million. Just get this headed in the right direction, then I can check. Yeah, so it says $1.233 million. That is quite a bit more than what I have at the moment, and it is survival farming, so I don't foresee getting there anytime soon. And just in case you are unaware, when I say survival farming, all that means is that we have the game on the hardest difficulty. We have everything except field stones enabled, and I think I have the fuel usage set to high, so just an extra little challenge. We're going to run out of fuel really fast. Started out with good but not great equipment. It's pretty old. This harvester is by far the biggest thing we've got. And we have dreams and goals of owning quite a large farming operation and farming some pretty good sized fields, and that's what this map has to offer. Edgewater, Saskatchewan has got small, tidy little fields like we've got here, It's also got some pretty massive ones like the contract we'll be doing later, so this video will be a good representation of the difference in size of the two fields, the two types of fields that the map has to offer. But anyways, we'll just get this super loud combine over towards the field and we'll get harvesting. One thing I am interested to know with this field of barley is what the yield is going to be, because barley tends to yield really high and doesn't require very much nitrogen in the way of the precision farming DLC. So I believe I have all that stuff set to perfect. We can check before we get into the field, but I am excited to see what this thing yields, because this can be a pretty lucrative harvest season here. Let the car pass. Oh, come on. I'm nowhere near you, sir. Please get out of the road. Wow. These men do not know how to drive. Alright, we're just going to go ahead and turn off the traffic, because I am not going to deal with that right now. Traffic. Nope. Okay, good. I usually like traffic, but when they're just going to sit there in the road, even though I'm miles away, I'm not going to deal with that. Let's wheel this thing around. And here is the moment of truth. Well, hang on. I got hung up on a fence post. Here is the moment of truth. We'll see what these yields are. Yeah, those aren't looking anything amazing or superb. They're not terrible, but the yield just isn't really there. In the bottom left-hand corner, you can see that map for the Precision Farming DLC. The yields are better than last time, for sure. We've gotten that reddish-orange up to a yellowish-green. So we're definitely seeing some progress. I do want to check and see if we have this field maxed out to the highest of its potential, because if not, we've got work to do yet with the Precision Farming DLC, which is another challenge we've got here on the Survival Farming Challenge here on Edgewater, Saskatchewan. Yeah, we're already over a third of the way full, so the yield is still pretty good, but it's not ridiculous like I was thinking it might be. I've had some crazy high yields with barley before, but today it doesn't look like that's going to be in the cards for us. Let's just check before we get too far into this field here and see what the yield was looking like. The projected yield and whatnot. Just get into the field so we know it's only taking its data from the field. Yeah, so as you can see down there in the bottom right corner, it says the pH value is perfect, the nitrogen is perfect, the yield potential is 125, but we're only getting 108 to 117% of that, depending on where we stand in the field. And it does say we need plowing, so definitely going to have to do that after we get this straw swaths picked up. Going to have to plow a few of our fields. Let's just check and see which ones are needing plowed. Yeah, so field 42, 36, and then that little grass field we converted into a soybean field last time will also need plowed. So nothing too crazy, but that is definitely what's hurting our yield. So as I say, we can still progress much further than we are now. But anyways, I think that's quite enough babbling for now, so we're just going to go ahead and get into this field. And then we'll be catching up to you guys back when we're made some good progress. And with that, we've got our first full load of these gravity wagons here. 26,430 liters of barley, plus a full hopper on the harvester there, just from this one field. So that's pretty good numbers. Again, as you can see from the yield, there's some green, a good amount of green in the field, but there's also some orange, and I think that's because the fields haven't been plowed yet. So definitely going to want to do that to get those yields up. But yeah, a full load from one field is not bad at all. It's going to bring in some pretty nice profits, I think. So definitely happy with those yields. But as I said, we'll get them even higher, so it only gets better. Let's just have a look and see what our income is looking to be. Looks like we're already going to get 40,000 before we get any of the barley. Most of that is the wheat. We got about $32,000 of maximum value here on the wheat. This is the time-saving stock check mod, for those of you who do not know. Instead of having to flip through your prices here, just sort of sums everything that you really need to know up right here, which is really handy. It tells you what it's at now, how much of it you've got, what the maximum price is, and all of your values, as well as when it will be. So yeah, it's a pretty nifty mod. Definitely saves time, as it says, time saving. So yep. And from that we can deduce we need to be selling a lot of things around that January and February time. We'll see with the barley. I believe it'll be probably just about the same time for the wheat and the barley. Those seem to always go hand in hand. I know Usually soybeans are around July at their highest, so we'll have to see with those. I don't know if this map is a little different or not. But yeah, we've been going along pretty good. We just got to get that last tiny little bit done with the field, and then we'll be going into the next field of barley. And then before too long, we'll be getting onto that contract there on field 31. So while those are unloading, since they take absolutely ages, I am going to get the harvester set up and over into the field. Let's see if this might be a little tight fit here. I don't like it when maps make it difficult for your harvester to grab the header out of the store. It's possible here, pretty easy, but that is one of my pet peeves, you could say, with farming simulator stores in the modded maps. Never had an issue with that on a base game map, but some of the mods have issues. Oops. Let's get these trailers hooked up to the fence here. These are pretty small, aren't they? And the hopper on that Kloss Lexion is huge, so these aren't really going to do much, but we'll use them anyways. What is it, 16,200 liters, or is that the X9? Let's just have a look at that. All the way to the right. Oh, no, I've got some mods in here. My bad. 18,000 fully loaded. The X9 is 16,200 liters, and the Fendt in Massey Ferguson Ideal can get 17,100 liters. The New Holland in Case IH are a little lower, but yeah, 18,000 liters is massive. And those trailers are probably not going to hold much more than that, so. We've got these gravity wagons here too, so between the 4 trailers we've got, it shouldn't be too bad, but definitely going to be doing a lot of carting for that contract. It's a wheat field too, so the yields are going to be pretty high. Anyways, as I said, we'll get back into the fields and get them done. Now, normally I wouldn't be driving this on the road with the header attached, but as you can see back there, our pickup is stuck in a ditch, and I don't really want to have to try and dig that out. So we're just going to drive the header on the road, and I did turn off traffic earlier, so it's not that big of a deal. Not something I love to do, but for right now, it is acceptable. Hopefully there's not a narrow fence opening up here at the farm and the header can get through, but if there is, I'm going to have to go get that pickup undone. Yeah, it looks like we can make that just fine. And into the field, surely Oh man, I hit a tree. Let's try and get there before we... This is quite narrow, so I might have to make this a grassland or something. The header should maybe fit, hopefully. It's a close one. I think we're in. We got about 2 or 3 inches there. And over on this side, got another 2 or 3 inches there, so definitely a tight squeeze. Can't go any bigger than the header we've got at the moment, but we did make it, so there's that, I suppose. Anyways, we'll get onto this field without any further delay. And yeah, look at that yield on the bottom left. That's that solid green that I was hoping for. We're going to have quite a bit of barley off this field, I got a feeling. Now it's starting to get a little less, but yeah, that's good. Alrighty, so we're going to hire a worker here, and then we're going to go and run some headlands across this contract field here. This thing is absolutely massive. All of that wheat that you can see on the screen is all this one big field. It might be the largest on the map, in fact. I suppose I should probably see how much it's paying to deduce whether or not it's worth doing. I also took another one, huh? So $24,000 plus whatever I make from the contract, because there always is that little bit of extra grain. What's the contract? The other one I took 23. Oh, so we're doing some oats over here as well. Okay. I forgot about that one. So once we get our harvester done over here with field 17, we'll just move right on into 23. And with a field this large, it's going to be difficult to do headlands in a traditional sense. Matter of fact, I'm not really sure how to navigate this field very well. Let's just swing over here and see if we can fit on the road. Turn on the hazards for sure. This thing is wide. Alright, looks like there is another entrance here. Splendid. And I don't need to drop a straw swath because this is not my field. We'll just get to running this headland here around the whole field while we're running our worker on our field, and hopefully we can sort of juggle these two combines back and forth with each other and get these fields done. we've been going for quite a while actually, and we just got the 10% completed notification there. So that gives you just a bit of a size or scope for how big this field really is. I call it a field. It's really a bunch of smaller fields all combined together, but it is purchased as one big area. And I believe it costs like 600,000. I'll check that once I get somewhere that I can. And I'm sure, I've heard you can fill in these little lakes and ditches and stuff. Not lakes, sorry. These little ponds and all the ditches. And then you can just plow it up and make this all one big square field if you wanted. That's sort of your style. But for me, that's sort of makes this map unique, all these crazy shaped fields. So I'm going to leave them as they are for the most part. Let's just check how much this field costs. 426,000. Okay, so I was off, but yeah, it'd be really cool to buy this field. Here's the other one we're doing the contract on. It's 272,000. I guess that is two fields there, but field 53 and 23. But we're just doing the contract on 23. But yeah, this thing is huge. We've done this little section down here. I'll show it with the mouse. We've done this little section here, and now we're doing this section. We've got this big section here, and then this smaller one up here as well. It's absolutely huge. It's going to take quite a while, and we still have this contract down here, so we're surely not going to get all that done here in this episode today. But yeah, so far we got these 2 fields of barley done, and we're working on this contract up here as well. So we're going to keep rolling. I am really loving this field and all these little grass cut-throughs with the water features all over, speckled throughout the field. This is probably one of the best looking fields I've ever seen. There's not really very many straights. This is probably the biggest one here in terms of being able to hire workers for it, so it's not going to be the easiest field to work for this contract. But I will do what I can. But yeah, I would definitely make this a goal to work this field someday on the farm. Because this is some serious acreage here. And it's really scenic and beautiful. But anyways, let's quit admiring the field too much and focus more on getting this wheat up and off of the field. Owning this field would sure be nice, but it's going to take a lot of money to buy it. It was 462,000 or 426,000, something like that. I have 30 grand right now. So it's going to be tight for a little while. That's why I'm doing these contracts, is to make some money to hold us over until we can start to sell some of our crops. Because I'm trying not to go negative on the farm. And with 30 grand, that'll last quite a while, but I don't want to have to struggle through anything. I want to be able to buy something that's on sale if I see something, and, you know, in order to better the farm and get to where we can start to make some good income. So maybe pick up a piece of land around harvesting in October time for the corn and beans and sunflowers, that type of thing. Something like that certainly would be helpful. So yeah, hope these contracts can pay well and help the farm to grow a little bit more. There's the 20% completed message there, as you can see in the top right. So we're slowly but surely making progress on the field, and we shall continue. And with that, we have our first full load of these trailers here. 43,000 liters is what they're going to hold, which is about 2.5 of those hopper fulls on that Claas Lexion. I suppose before I get too far ahead of myself, I should see where I'm taking this. Farmer's Market. So that would be, is that down here somewhere? How about we just Market here. Farmer's market. Tag place. Hey, it is up there. Okay. So we're just going to want to drive along this road. And there's a cut through. Sweet. So after we deliver this load, we'll be able to know, it'll tell us the percentage of grain transported for the contract. So we'll be able to know just how much grain this contract is going to generate, and will better tell us how many of these trailer fulls we're going to have to take in there. So just a simple little trick to use to know how much you have left. We did get a message for 30% done on the contract, I believe, so that is good to know. This is certainly taking a long time, but it will pay out well. So it'll all be worth it. And we are, slowly whittling down the amount. We only have 70% left. And that message did pop up a while ago, so I'm guessing we've got around about 65% left or something like that. So it's really not all that bad. But then once we get this contract done, we do have that oat field on field 23 to get done too, so gonna be a long haul for sure. Good looking fence. I do like these Rudolph trailers as well. Here's a part of the map I haven't been on ever, I don't think. This little cut through up top. A tiny little grass field there. Yeah, this looks pretty nice. Got a tiny little house there too. Be an idyllic place to live. And plenty of trees too. Could certainly make a killing on logging in this map. And here we are back into town. So yeah, that's a nice little pass. Certainly better than having to drive all the way down and cutting through that way, which we would have had to do if this cut through wasn't up here. That would have been unfortunate. Okay. This looks a little hard to navigate, but not terrible. We'll just turn on this big main road here. And cross the river, stream, creek, whatever you want to call it. And then we'll swoop down in here, and there it is. Dump it out right here on the side. Sweet. There's just enough room to get these both dumped at the same time, so we're definitely going to do that. And here is the moment of truth. How much? Alright, so it says 21% transported, which means we have 5 total loads to do about, and that was 1, so we've got 4 more to do, and that makes things seem much more manageable. You know, it didn't take a terribly long time to get this first load, so only 4 more. Doesn't sound too bad. But anyways, as this field is going to take such a long time to get done, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the episode there. Next episode, we'll get around to finishing that big field, as well as doing that second contract on field 23 with oats, and hopefully moving into our own harvest of soybeans on our few fields that we've got. And we also have some straw to bale, so it is going to be a busy time here in the next few months, which is quite a stark contrast to the several months we had of not much to do. That April through August, just weeding, spreading weeds, trucking a little bit of some straw, I think we did. Not much at all, but now we've got everything to do. Harvest the fields, bale the straw, sell the produce, plant the new crop. We gotta rent a plow or buy a plowing setup, something like that, to get our fields plowed. Maybe spread some lime if we need it. Tons of stuff to be doing, so going to be a busy stretch for sure, but that's for next episode. Anyways, if you guys did enjoy this, feel free to leave a like. That sort of boosts the video and lets other people see it, and hopefully they like it as much as you. It's really appreciated by me too. If you've got any suggestions for anything on my channel, maybe maps to do a tour of, suggestions for this playthrough, such as equipment to buy, fields to buy, which crops to plant in which fields, I do greatly appreciate those, and enjoy getting your guys' feedback. If you do appreciate the content that I put out and you want to, feel free to subscribe. It helps my channel, and hey, I appreciate it a lot. And you get a little bonus too. You get to see my videos, get a little notification when they come out, so you can watch them right away. And it's completely free, so feel free to do that. Anyways, that's all from me for now. We'll see you next time. Peace.